create an environment where your child can come to you and actually relate to you, other than just being a father or a mother. You can be a friend to this child. If once you are a youth and you are in the shoes that I am in, why can't you like do the understanding?
It's out of love, because they just feel like they say, what I went through, I wouldn't want the same to happen to my son. I don't want the same to happen to my daughter. Hello viewers, welcome to today's show. This is Teens Untold with me, Auntie Marge. It's another Sunday and you're back, and today it's all about mother-daughter talk. There are so many questions that our young people out there, they come to us as parents, they're asking us, and we are quick to judge them, we are quick to overreact. And with me today is a good friend, and of course she has been here before. Of course, she has also been privileged to host some of the Teens Untold, and for the sake of the new viewers, I'll give her an opportunity to introduce herself. Karibu sana.
Thank you. Hi guys, hello, how are you? You good? So my name is Jedidia Nyambura Keshamba, aka Miss G, and we are back again. Gladly. Yes.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
I'm happy to have you back.
Thank you.
And of course, standing in for me.
Yeah.
For a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so humbled by that.
Asante.
Of course, today I want us to have a conversation. Of course, mother-daughter conversation.
Yes.
Yeah, on behalf of the young people out there. Okay, so many young people are lately complaining. Yeah, they have a lot of issues in them, and of course they would really love to speak them out, and of course to their parents. Yeah, being their guardians, their first role models. But it's becoming challenging. It is very hard.
Yeah.
Since immediately, like, you go to your mom, immediately you go to your dad, and of course speak out like of all that you're going through. They are quick to judge. And of course today I want you to be there presenting the teenagers, all the young people out there, and of course I'll be there to respond, and of course explain the reason why at times we react the way we do, so that at least they can understand. And of course for some of the parents that are watching us, of course for them to know like some of the reactions, how they make you guys do, how they push you guys away, you know, and of course make that relationship you know, straining and all that.
Yeah.
So karibu sana.
Asante. So, Aunt Marge, let me tell you, one of the greatest challenges, especially when it comes to this relationship, parent-child relationship, is that it's like you people don't understand us. You don't understand us. Because I come to you, I really, really want you to be my first friend. I really want you to be the first person that I run to when I have something. But if something as simple as labda tu nakuomba permission, I have to gather courage from left, right and center, because I know your answer is always going to be no, is always going to be, and then I have to do a lot of work to convince you. Like, how exactly will I come to you to tell you something like I have someone that I want to bring to you?
Okay.
You see, like I don't understand why parents at times overreact, like it's something small but they overreact. So I'm like, I can't tell my dad this, or I can't tell my mom this, because the way they'll take it, whatever, if I'm feeling bad, if I come to you, I know that whatever I'm going to hear from you is going to make me feel even worse. And so at the end of it all, we end up looking for help from other people, or at times from our own age mates, because we think that all parents are the same, everyone that is in your age would react the same. And honestly, it's not the best feeling. Like, it's not nice for me to be hiding things from my parents.
Sure.
I don't want to be hiding things from my parents. But now how you guys react, afadhali tu nijieke surely.
But you know, at least yeah, I understand. I understand what you're talking about, because at least one time I was young.
Yeah.
Now that I have grown and I'm a parent, okay, back then I would not understand the reason why, and of course I used to ask myself the same questions. But now that I'm grown and I have kids of my own, you know, now I understand the reason why such thing happened. First and foremost, okay, huyu ni mzazi, amegrow na wewe, unajua amekuwa kikulea, and that is why at times unasikianga like inaanzanga mbali. It's not like now that you're a teen and like unataka hii permission ya kuenda, na ndio maana unasikianga lazima ianze mbali. At times it's the way you the way you behave, the way you react, unaona. Maybe as you're growing up, you did not present yourself to be this strong person that anaweza achilia uende, you know, you want permission to go somewhere, maybe on a night out, on a, you know, those dates and all that. So to them, by the look of things, unajua kunasemekana, unajua wewe ukiwa mzazi wewe ndio unajua watoto wako. And at times that is why you see, even wakati wanagawanisha responsibilities, utasikia kisema Nyambura, take care of this, so and so take care of this. Unajua, na najua hii nikiachia fulani most definitely haitafanyika. Unaona, it will not happen. Haitafanyika. So mzazi anajua watoto wake. So at times when they react the way they do, I want like the young people out there wache kufocus na side ya maparo peke yake. At times it's always good to come back to yourself. Jiulize swali, why is this parent behaving the way they do? Probably they are because of me, because of the way I present myself to them, because of the way I behave to them. And probably if you can choose to only change and become that different person, maybe you can win their confidence, you know, you can win their trust, and of course they can allow you to go. On another hand, kuna mwenye yes atakuwa strong, atakuwa amejipresent poa and all that, but saa zingine unapata mzazi pia ana project like venye alikuwa yeye mwenyewe. Una get? Maybe alikuwa mzazi mwenye like akienda nje anakuwa wild. Akienda nje, you know, all those shit would happen. And so to them, they'll be like, no, I don't want the same for my daughter, I don't want the same for my son. You know, so most definitely when you go to them, their reaction is not even as a result of you as a person. It's simply based on their past. Like what they went through on their past. Maybe they want out, they were taken advantage of. You know, and so when you go ask them for permission to go for those night outs and dates and all that, to them, it takes them back. You know, to their past. You know, ni kama unaenda kusugua kidonda. And of course their reaction is very harsh, is very tough. They're not doing that out of hate. No, it's out of love, because they just feel like they say, what I went through, I wouldn't want the same to happen to my son. I don't want the same to happen to my daughter. As a result, you do what? So you overreact. So okay, what I would like want the young people to understand, the moment uone that reaction yenye haijakufanya happy, you know, don't get mad. Don't like unajaribu ku make choices zenye sio right, you know, you can choose to snake out, you know, you can use or una rebel and all that. Inaweza iacha rest for some time, then later on go and try to inquire the reason why that parent reacted venye react. Na maybe ukienda kwa uzuri atakuexplainia, yeah, this thing happened to me in the past and I wouldn't want the same to happen to you. And it is okay, you can make them understand the fact that it did happen to you doesn't mean it will happen to me, because hizo ni scenario nini, ni scenario mbili tofauti. And of course through communication, understanding each other, it becomes easy. And of course the relationship between wazazi na the young generation inakuwa, because nowadays young people are really complaining. At times utapatana na mtu kuna shida, and of course you talk to them and then you refer them to their parents, because most definitely will not be there like to journey with them at all times. But mzazi yako hapa unasikia mtu amekwambia manze no, wazazi hapana, hakuna, like it can't work. And it really bothers me actually when I imagine like mzazi ndiye anafaa kukuwa hapo wa kwanza, because the moment you talk to your parents, definitely they will give you the first hand information, and definitely the right one. Because nasemanga, if there is one person that means well to you, ni wazazi wako, and they will always guide you into the right direction. So when I hear like somebody who is young and we know they're growing up, they need a lot of guidance, they need to be led, and of course when I refer them back to the parents, they are like, apana, I can't go. It really bothers me, but at the same time, I relate with them because I was once a young person. But it is always good for you guys to understand. We don't we have no ill feeling. We mean well for you. At times, yeah, we understand we overreact, but that doesn't mean that hatuwapendi. Tunawapenda sana. You know, and basically that is the reason why at times we behave the way we do.
Actually, one of the greatest things that normally hurts is that mere fact that once you are a youth, and so I'm asking myself, if once you are a youth and you are in the shoes that I am in, why can't you like do the understanding?
You know,
Why
it's
is
not
it
like
that
we can't
elewa?
we can understand. But now the problem is, you know, every parent wants the best. You know, every parent ukienda kwake anataka kukwambia, I want to give my kids the best, like more than what I went through myself. Unaona, kama niligrowia kwa humble background, unajua nataka struggles nifanye bidii ni make sure mtu wangu nimempea better. You get my point? So even when it comes to this, I'm telling you, maybe one time I went through something terrific, horrible, pathetic. You know, when I went, my parents, you know, they trusted me in it. They allowed me to go. And then when I went out there, there's something really bad that happened. And as for me as a parent, you know, lazima ukuwe na hiyo uoga. Unajua lazima ukuwe na hiyo roho, like unataka kumprotect and all that. So what do? Ako kamadha, ka parent instinct kana kicking. Instant. Unaona? So regardless, yes, I was a young person. And ndio ninasema, if you can only take time, usibaki ukijiuliza hizo. Unaona now those questions you're asking yourself, like alikuwa myang, alikuwa mdogo, how comes I easy understand? Instead of you asking yourself those questions, why can't you? You know, kwanza situation wacha cool down. Kwa sababu kuna ile tunaitanga reflex. You know, reflex ni umemwambia instantly, like that instant reaction. Hiyo yenye amereact. Unaona? Ukimu approach later, it can be different. Most probably kwa sababu now you may sink in, I may think over it, you know, and now you can have a conversation. So the best thing is just let it settle down for a while, and then you can instead ya kujiuliza hizo maswali ukiwa peke yako, because hautapata jibu. Obviously utabaki
ukiuliza tu maswali.
Yeah, ukikasirika utakasirika, you'll be angry, you'll be bitter, you know, una understand hataki kunielewa, you know, alafu kuna aka ka story kama mama yako hata alizaa akiwa mdogo, yani unajua alipata mtu yeye akiwa young, you know, to you unasema like it will happen, kwa nini haniachili na yali kwa hizi vitu atameli, yani that is your reasoning, and it is okay, and you understand that with the young mind, it is okay for you to think that way, but to her, unaona, this is a mistake that happened. Unaona, hii ni kitu yenye happen yenye singependa, but it did happen. Why? Pengine alienda mahali akarepiwa, alienda mahali ya mtu akamshika against wish yake, hata kama yani Charlie alikuwa na yeye, but aka end up kumpush into doing something that she didn't want to do. And to her, you know, to you najiuliza why, but to her she's like, no, I don't want the same to happen to my daughter. So to her she's protecting you, but to you, you're viewing it differently with the young one. Inakukwaza, inakukera. And so ukikaa nayo itazidi. But the moment you make that choice kwenda kuketi naye, and of course you have a conversation, everything inakuwa fide, inakuwa poa. So it's always good to like communication tunasemanga in every relationship regardless whether ni between wazazi na watoto, between a boy and a girl, you know, in a marriage setup, communication is key, and most probably a relationship where there is no communication.
True.
Hakuna siku yenye mtakuwa na the same values. You never share, because you don't even get to understand the other person, what they want, what they don't want. That can only be understood through communication. So the key word here is communication. We need to communicate, we need to be open with each other. Akikukwaza, communicate. You know, because ukijiekea itakumiza. Na unajua inaendanga inakaa kama, I always tell people ni kama tanki ya mafuta imeanguka mahali. Wewe inangoja tu spark and then it explode. So the moment you harbor in all this, you know, for a very long time, it will come a place whereby you are going to snap. And the moment you snap, it will not even be good for you. So we mean well. So what is the, like, if I would ask, like, what is the common questions? Like ama scenarios that huwa mnaenda kwa wazazi zenye mna feel like you overreact the most?
Wacha kwanza nianze na the most obvious one, relationship. If it just happens that the word relationship comes out of my mouth, the first thing that utasikia, sijui hapana, yani tunapoa lecture ya 2 hours, and I was like, wow. In fact, Yani maybe it was just I just wanted to poke something and then it just burst. Nasema hapa hata siwezi kuja kusema kwa sababu I know what will happen, you know, I know what will happen. Another thing is, especially this happens a lot wakati wenye, now let me talk about this other side, which is career wise.
Okay.
So I have a desire of taking a certain career.
Okay.
And yeah, definitely I know kuna hizi challenges, blah 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 blah. But then when I come to you as my parent, the first thing is that you're bashing it just because it does not resonate with you. Like maybe you desired for me to be a lawyer, you desired for me to be a doctor, you desired for me to be that, but my passion is not necessarily there. It's in maybe say media, catering or something. I don't understand why parents can't come to the fact that as much as we come from the same family, we are two different individuals with two different mindsets, and you know, as much as still you have gone before me, I am still a human being who has been created for a certain purpose. So why is it that when I have a different opinion from yours, like I will have to go the extra mile of trying to explain to you, ama at the end of it all unapata watu wamerebel, you know? Na hata wengine they go to the extent wazazi wao they wanasema you're no longer my child just because I didn't necessarily go in accordance to what you wanted me to do. You get? Yes. So honestly, I think as much as ni kweli you love us and you want the best for us, I think that kuna place yenye tunafaa kufika and realize that this is my child, but I should raise them up to know that they are still individuals who are capable of making their same decisions. Unaona?
Sure.
Like raising them up to know that you know that my parent can trust me to make a decision and they will follow along with it. At times najua decisions zingine you make like hizo decisions hapana, but you parent allowing me to make a decision helps me grow up and mature up and know, haya, by the way, I'm responsible for my life. Haya, by the way, okay, the moment that I get into that career and then I find this and this and this, I'll know it's not my parent who sent me here, it is me who made a decision, so I have to be responsible for it. So hata kama ni kutu protect, kuna borders tunavuka surely.
Haya, naelewa, and by the way I understand so well. At times it happens. By the way it does happen. Na nimekuambia sana ukiangalia inaanzanga pale nyuma. Penye nimekuambia mzazi anajua like mtoto wangu kulingana na venye amegrow akikuona. Unaona, like me with my boys. Me I know kuna mwenye nitaachia hii responsibility. In fact I will go even if I go for a whole year, I'll come back and I just find it the way it was. Iko tu vile you know. So even when now it comes to like career choosing, you know, at times kulingana na venye nilikuwa ninakuona like venye nimekuwa nikigrow up, nitakuwa nina feel probably and I make the decision, but I just feel like hako strong enough based on like venye amekuwa kigrow na venye nimekuwa nikimobserve. It is very okay and it is very right for like you young people to have that leeway, to have that power, you know, to choose what you want. Because personally I always feel place yenye passion yako iko, that is the only time you can give it your all. You know, that is when you can serve the way it is supposed to, because we say service to humanity. As you serve the people, you're serving God as well. You know, and you know, if you can't give your all into it, obviously at a result hazitakuwa poa. Unaelewa, haitakuwa poa. You know, I always tell people kuna hii job yenye siku yenye unaanza kusikia like place yenye nataka kwenda, like hata asubuhi sina saa ya kuamka kwenda, definitely you know you go in the wrong place. And so if that is how you would feel, kwa hiyo at times me usema ni poa ku stand ground yako. Because number one, if you don't stand your ground, you know, at times you can help them change their mind based on how you're going to stand your ground. You see, ukianza kuyumba, you know, pia wao unawaonyesha ni kama pia ujielewi, ni kama ujui chenye unataka. But if you say like this is what I want and you stick to it, you know, there are parents who reject you. Watakwambia you're no longer my child. I disown you. It is still okay. It is still okay. You know, even if they disown you, God hasn't disowned you. And instead of going ahead and doing something that you never... Unajua kuna toto wanainanga anasema alafu anakuletea makaratasi. You know, me I have a brother I pushed. It's not like I push, but I did talk him into choosing like a career yenye haiko ndani yake. He alimaliza amesoma, but hiyo kakiniambia like sees siku yenye nitalala tu hivi niamke, hizi makaratasi nitakuletea ukawashe nazo jiko, you know. And at times it makes me feel bad in a way, because I feel like I talked him into doing something that was not in him. And the thought of like probably him waking up every morning and in a place yenye pengine I feel like you are content, feel like this is not where I should be. Okay, at times it bothers me, and though it's something that happened, it was not a good thing, but at least I've taken it positively. Because to me, I took it and I learned from it. Like, it's not right, you know. And na kama angestand ground yake, at least ningemwelewa. When I get na ningefeel poor. So me, what I would suggest is that you as the young person, regardless of what your parents feel, think about you, the final decision still lies with you. Because at the end of it all, it will come a point whereby these parents will not be there. Watakuacha wapi? Watakuacha ukiwa mahali kwenye uko happy. You know, and probably the only thing you need to do is to stand your ground. Make them understand, like, this is what I want. This is where my passion is at. You know, and by so doing, you know, it will help you, and it will also help them understand, like, this is what you want. Hata wakikudisown, it's okay, you can find something to do on the way. You know, I'm telling you, they'll come around. As long as we prove like, this is what I want, this is where my passion is at. Unajua? Na hii nikifanya, hii ndio itafanya ni at least niweze ku reach goals zangu. So at times pia nitairudisha tu kwa the young people. It's you to teach us. Tunaambiangwa, it's you to teach people how they are going to treat you. You know, when do utawafunza. Regardless whether ni wazazi, ni marafiki, unajua, anywhere you go, it's you to teach people. Kufanya nini venye watakutreat. And at times when you just feel people are not treating you the way you're supposed to be treated, it is always good to remember. It all starts with with me. So if the way they are treating me is not right, jitaka mkutano. What am I not doing right to deserve this kind of treatment? And you know, and when you analyze that, you know, you point out a few things, and then you work on them, and then everything will work out for good.
Wow.
Yeah, but in relationship, it's in the thought of my boy having a girlfriend somewhere, it will never work easy. Of course, there will be lectures. Me, I always tell people, the day one of my son will come and me, I have a girlfriend. I guess the first thing I'll do is like, I want to see that girlfriend. Because I just want to make sure like you guys share the same values, you know. Like you connect in all ways. Like, do you share the same values? Because I know that is something that I cannot like siwezi avoid. Until you work and they are growing and these things will happen. So I'll want to know, do they share the same values? Are they in the same page? You know, all that. But basically it will happen and it will never be easy. Even after this show, I cannot assure you to me. It will always be tough, but the most important thing is communication. Communication and consistency.
True.
Be consistent. Let there be communication. Communication is key in all relationships. You know, regardless whether ni mzuri mbaya, let there be communication. Because once communication ends, kila kitu inadai. So hata akikukoromea this time round, give it time, let it rest, then go back. Because at the end of it all, hakuna mtu mwenye atawahi simama na wewe better, right? Kama mzazi. Friends will be there. At times they will even give you the wrong friends, give you the wrong information. You know, kila mtu akona intentions zake ndani and all that. But the only person mwenye ako right, mwenye anataka kuguide into the right direction ni mzazi. So at the end of it all, tujaribu tu kuwaleta karibu, wakuwe mabeshte, you know, in the best. And if that cannot work, unaweza tafuta either a friend who is very closer to your parents, or maybe a relative, an auntie, an uncle, and maybe you can talk to them, you know, into talking to them and probably wonder how things go. But it's not easy. I understand, nakufeel. So as we end, parting shots.
I will give a verse that is very common in the Bible, and it's in Genesis chapter 2. And inasema that after God created Adam, eka kila kitu, and then he said that it is not good for man to be alone, so I will make him a suitable helper, or in other versions, a helper that will be his companion. So that verse is just mostly inatumikanga for marriage, but it covers it shows us story na relationship in general. And so it says that God aliona it's not good for man to be alone, so he created someone else who had two qualities. One, he was a helper, and two, they are suitable or companion. And that's a principle that has to be followed in all relationships for them to be successful.
Yeah.
So for you as my parent, you are my helper in terms of you're making me grow. A helper is someone that will help you get to your destiny or help you grow, mnajengana. So my parent, you are my helper. But then there's this other part where a lot of us don't fill that gap. And that is the suitability part. That is the companionship part. That is the friendship part, where I can come and approach you and tell you this and that and that. Of course, kutakuwa na ile strictness ya mzazi, but create an environment where your child can come to you and actually relate to you. Other than just being a father or a mother, you can be a friend to this child. Because at the end of it all, I believe that no parent wants their children to get lost. And if you're not the person that they can run to when they have an issue, where else do you think they will run to? So create that environment. Let that principle of helpmanship and suitability come in place in your relationship. That you will help me grow in my destiny, in my purpose, but still there shall be the part where we are compatible enough to be friends and to relate well as a family.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very strong. And I'm sure the parents out there, wamesikia hiyo.
Yes.
Yeah, you want that environment
Yes.
conducive.
Yeah.
At least unaweza kwenda kwake, at least mnaongea na anasimama na wewe. Sindio?
Yeah.
So, it's all we have for today. At least today it was all about mother-daughter relationship. And of course, what has come out in our today's conversation is that it's always good to have that good relationship between you and your parents. As parents, make sure you create that environment, conducive for your kids to come to you. Because by so doing, you're helping them grow. And of course, at the end of it all, they'll have the right information. And of course, watagrow venye unataka, hata wewe mwenyewe utafurahia. And of course, for our young people out there, it's always good to remember, communication is key. Yeah, at times you go to your parents, they will react in a way that you're not happy with their reaction, but that doesn't mean like you should run, you should rebel, and end up making the wrong choices. Let it cool down. Take some time and then revisit. But if it becomes tough, harder, you can find someone, either a close relative, a friend to your parents, you can talk to them. And of course, they can talk to them, at least to ease up their relationship. Because at the end of it all, your parents mean well. That is all we have for today. Until next Sunday, this is